Hey there, empowered peeps. I'm Ryane to the rescue. And today we're going to talk about a super sexy topic, medical insurance, and the importance of having a medical insurance advisor. Now, wait, don't tune me out, because I'm about to share with you something that will really save your life a lot of hassle. If you are single or self-employed, or your employer doesn't provide you medical insurance, this information is for you. It's going to save you a ton of stress and a ton of money. Now, before we get into any details, I just want to assure you this is not an advertisement. This is not a sponsored video, and I'm not selling anything. I'm just your friend who came across a really great deal and a really great service, and I want to pass it along to you because I care about you. And especially to my widow friends, we got to look out for each other. And it's really tough navigating through this world and making decisions on 100 million things and being the head of the household. Okay, so medical insurance. We all want the best coverage and the cheapest price, right? Of course. Well, I may have the solution for you. This is something that I wish I had known, but I know now, and now I want to share it with you. In this video, I'm going to answer 3 questions. How, and what? How I got into the situation where I even need this service, how it can benefit you, and what do I do now? So for 30 years, I was married and had a middle-class income and had insurance provided by either my place of employment or my husband's place of employment. And in 2021, my husband had the main source of income for our family, and our insurance was provided through his job. Well, he died unexpectedly. And on the day of his death, my daughter's and my health insurance was canceled. That's terrifying. Prior to my husband's death, I might have been tempted to think, oh, it's okay, we can go without insurance for a while because we're super healthy, it's not that big of a deal. But that illusion was shattered when my husband had this unexpected bicycle accident, and then he went into the hospital and he was there for days and weeks, and it racked up hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills. And then he died. So I knew firsthand that going without insurance was not an option. Well, my husband's company offered us a temporary extension on insurance called Cobra, and that would have cost me a lot of money, a crazy, ludicrous amount of money. So I knew that going without insurance was not an option, and I knew that I could not even afford the insurance that they were offering me. So I was really in a panic. I was utterly overwhelmed thinking, how am I going to cost compare all of these medical insurances? And distressed about how much it was going to cost me. And then I was also terrified to do business with someone who I didn't trust and was going to take advantage of me. So I heard there was medical insurance that was provided through the government. So I got on this governmental website and I put in my information because I wanted to know what options were available to me. And as soon as I clicked enter on my keyboard, my phone started ringing off the hook. Okay, that's an old term. But no, my phone blew up and it rang almost nonstop for over 2 weeks. So the thing is, that governmental site sold my information to a zillion insurance agents who hounded me all of the time trying to get me to sign up for their stuff. That was a mistake, and I want to forewarn you not to do that. That was terrifying, and they weren't the slightest bit interested in my best interest. And when I asked them questions, they hung up on me. Literally, I'm not kidding, they literally hung up on me. That's ludicrous. So then I didn't trust insurance people at all. But I was really in a quandary because I knew that I needed insurance. So I reached out to a trusted friend of mine and I asked for her advice. And fortunately, she had a great referral for me for a health advisor or health insurance advisor. They're called different names. And I don't want to be overly dramatic or anything, but meeting this health insurance advisor dude named Blake changed my life. So that's how I got into the situation in life that I needed a health insurance advisor. So now let me tell you how it benefited me, because that's how it'll benefit you. As I mentioned, I was stressed and terrified and distrustful. Distrustful? Is that a word? I don't know. Let's go with it. So normally when taking care of insurance issues, you can just do everything over the phone. But because of my trust issues, I wanted to meet face to face, which Blake was happy to do. And then I also asked a trusted friend to come along and join me because I had only been widowed for a couple of weeks and I did not trust my decision-making skills or my mental processing skills either. So prior to our meeting, Blake had already given me a phone call and asked me quite a few questions about my specific needs and my family's needs and the prescriptions we take and things like that. So when we got together in person, he already had 3 really good insurance options to present to me and to think about. He talked very slowly and had such a peaceful, calm demeanor that he really set me at ease. And he had unending patience with all of my questions and tears. Yes, tears. I cried a lot because I was in a very fragile state and I was so far out of my comfort zone making these kind of healthcare decisions without my husband. And if Blake had been like fast and high pressure and like in my face, I would have kicked him to the curb immediately. I went into that meeting very skeptical and very stressed. But with each passing moment, my stress just melted into peace because I could tell that he truly had my family's best interest at heart. So long story short, we decided on some insurance that was a best fit for my family. He's saved me a boatload of money and he's provided me peace all along the way. And that was almost 2 years ago. Now he is stuck with me forever because he's my insurance dude for life. So what does all that mean to you? Well, as Ryane to the rescue, you know that I am committed to learning new skills on this journey and to mastering these things that come across my path that are really, really foreign territory for me. And once I do master it, and once I do learn something that's very beneficial to my life, I am definitely going to share it with you because I want it to benefit your life as well. So I told Blake that I wanted to share with my empowered peeps how important it is to have a health insurance advisor. And I asked him if he would do a little interview with me so that he could share some education and some information about this whole process. And he was happy to help. So let me share that interview with you now. Okay, everybody, the man of the hour, I have to introduce to you Blake Terry.
How are you, Ryan? Thanks for having me.
Good. And so I didn't even know that I needed a health advisor prior to my husband passing away. And now I literally couldn't live without it. So could you tell me what is a health advisor and what should people look for when they are needing one?
Absolutely. So, really, a health advisor or a health agent is just somebody that's going to help you make wise decisions as it pertains to your health care. So, we like to say that a health advisor should be saving you, an average 20 to 60% on your premiums. They should be giving you peace of mind and saving you on future out-of-pocket health expenses as well.
Mm-hmm. And do you pay a health advisor to do this job for you?
No. So with us, we never collect a fee. I don't know of any colleagues that would collect a fee from anybody. A health advisor is going to get commissioned from the insurance company, just much like other professions would that are offering services like that.
So kind of like a realtor, like you don't pay a realtor, but they get paid in the whole transaction of everything.
Absolutely. That's a great example.
Okay, so when we met, originally 2 years ago, I told you about these hound dogs, these insurance hound dogs that were calling me all of the time. So they sell insurance and you sell insurance. So I don't understand, what is the difference between you and them? I mean, I know that it's way better working with you,
Right.
and you are much more of a pleasant person, and you saved me a ton of money and all of that good stuff. But what is really fundamentally the difference between you guys?
Right. Well, with us, and I think what your viewers should be looking for is first and foremost an independent agent, somebody that truly works for you, the client, and not for one in particular insurance company. So somebody that can shop for all the healthcare options within the state that you're living in, and again, kind of ask those needed questions of what are you going to use your health insurance for, what's your budget, all the things that are important to you so that they can work, within those constraints to give you the plan and the price that you need.
So basically, those dudes probably only work with one insurance company, and so they're just trying to shove that one down my throat because that's who they sell.
Exactly.
Whereas you represent a whole bunch of different insurance companies. So therefore, you have the opportunity to ask me a bunch of questions about my unique needs and then plug me into the right insurance company for me.
Exactly. So I think, for your viewers, when they're talking to an advisor, an insurance company, or insurance agent, one of two things is going to come first. Is it the quote and the product that's coming first, or is it what do you need is coming first? And I think what should be coming first is what do you need? Tell me about your situation, and then they should be offering something that is a solution to that.
Plus, your personality was very, very chill, and it brought a lot of peace to me rather than those other people who were just like talking fast and trying to sign me up really quickly. And I was so stressed out. So, huge difference between you and them.
Perfect. That's what people deserve.
Okay, so when my husband died and I was in need of insurance, so many people were approaching me and telling me about all different kinds of health insurance options. And of course, I want to save money. So my ears were perked up to anything about providing good health insurance for my family, but also saving money. So I heard things like Cobra insurance and health shares and Obamacare and things like that. And I literally couldn't sort it all out. I didn't know the difference between them. I didn't know what was the best deal. So I think I'm going to just punt this question to Blake, the expert, and ask him, what health insurance options do we really have anyway as a consumer?
Absolutely. So what we try to educate our clients on is the real insurance from the not so real. So if you were to just kind of draw a line on a sheet of paper, and on top of the line you put employer coverage, Obamacare, or some people call that healthcare.gov, and underwritten. And below the line you would put health shares, short term, multi-plan, and there's a couple others. And so what we've done is we've kind of separated that real from not so real. So above the line, those are your real insurance options. They're plans that have primarily two main ingredients. They have a solid max out of pocket, and they have an unlimited benefit of coverage. What that means is that in your time of need, heaven forbid there's that large medical bill, we know what you're going to pay by that max out of pocket. Whether it's $3,000, $10,000, $15,000, we know what that amount's going to be. Everything below the line, we don't know that. If that medical bill arises, we don't know if you're going to have to pay all of it, half of it, or if it's going to cover any of those things. So most of our clients are looking for real insurance for a long-term solution. So we're just going to scratch out those bottom three and shop somewhere in those top three categories.
So it's really important when you're considering your health insurance options to make sure that it really is health insurance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because this is a situation where buyer beware, what if I decided on one of those options that didn't have a max out of pocket and I thought I had health insurance, and then for some reason I had some sort of catastrophic hospitalization or something like that. And then I get hit with this huge bill that's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
So, along that line, I don't want to diss anybody's options and decisions that they have made for their life and their health care. But I did consider a health share. And if that's right for you, wonderful. But for me, the thing is, I discovered that they don't have a max out of pocket, right?
Correct.
Coming from a person who has suffered a catastrophic loss personally in their family, when my husband was in the hospital day after day after day and week after week after week. And of course, my heart is tied up in him and his survival and his health, but also I'm thinking about the financial part of it. And so I actually reached out to my insurance company at that time, and I found out that I did have a max out of pocket, and mine was $8,000. And honestly, that gave me a lot of comfort knowing that if he was going to be in there for days or weeks or months, and I didn't know how long this would last, I knew that when it all came down at the end, when I needed to pay the bill, it wasn't going to be more than $8,000.
Correct. And that's one of the most important things I believe that anybody should consider when they're picking a health insurance plan.
So, what exactly healthcare insurance companies are you talking about? Like, are you talking about like Joe Bob's healthcare insurance or what?
Not at all. So it's the carriers and insurance companies that I'm sure most people are familiar with. United Healthcare, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Cigna, Aetna, Oscar, to name a few. There's many of them out there.
Okay, well that makes me feel a lot more comfortable because you're naming things that I'm familiar with, that I've heard of before, and that I've even had before. With my previous employers, I've had those insurances before, so I already know that I can trust them.
Correct.
So those insurance companies, you represent those, and you can save people money on those insurance companies?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So everything that we've discussed would apply to any of those insurance companies in a variety of ways.
Okay, so how exactly do you save people money? I don't get it.
Yeah, so each person's situation's a little bit different, but it really typically falls into three areas. Your household size and income could be a way to save quite a bit of money on your health insurance premiums. If you're relatively healthy, you can qualify for some health-based discounts that can lower your prices and premiums. And then the third way that really anybody can benefit is bundling a couple different products. And really what we mean by that is just adding things to your plan like telemedicine that can save you time and money, but also lowering deductibles for hospitalizations and accidents and things of that nature. It's a lot less expensive to bundle a couple of products together as opposed to just buy one product that does it all.
And I've benefited from the telemedicine.
Yes, it's a good service.
Yeah, I have both the telemedicine included in mine and the roadside assistance.
Yes. Yeah,
which have both been very beneficial for me and my family of teenage drivers.
Yes, so there's a lot of good things. And again, that just kind of goes back to what can a health advisor do for you? Is really just to help you understand all the many benefits that are a part of the plan and the package that you have so that you can maximize those benefits and just get the most value out of your health insurance.
I think a lot of people didn't realize that if you have to buy insurance all on your own, that it could be so affordable. Because when I had insurance through my employer, I thought, that's the very best deal you can ever get. And I was even though my employer was paying a good portion, I was still paying a good portion out of my paycheck too. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm getting insurance totally independently of any employer, I thought that I was going to have to pay like $500 or $700 or something dollars for myself and my kids, but you've saved us a ton of money. I had no idea you could get it for such an affordable rate every month.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, many times an employer-provided plan is the best deal out there. But there's always exceptions. So that's why, again, it's good to have an advisor to just review those options, maybe help select the best of the 3 or 4 options your employer provides for you so that you pick the affordable option that's going to take care of you, but also just to make sure that that is, truly the best deal for you and your family.
So if somebody has insurance through their employer, they can still reach out to you for help?
Absolutely. So we do have a handful of clients that we just help them make that decision. Again, we don't charge for services, but they're confused as to, do I take the high deductible option or the low deductible option, or which option might cover my prescriptions better? And those are just all great questions to ask that we're able to provide some answers and information so that they make a good decision.
So you help people make a good decision on their insurance, and you're not even getting paid anything for that.
No, it's just the right thing to do.
What a good guy. Okay, so with the other insurance that I was thinking about going with, I was going to have to be paying a lot more. And I'm not going to mention exact numbers because my finances are different than your finances. And so it may not shake down exactly the same. But savings is savings, right? But either way, with the amount that I was going to have to pay with other insurance, and then I came to you, and then you gave me the premium that I was going to have to pay for the insurance options that we decided on, I was shocked. Like, I nearly fell on the floor because it was such a good deal. And because I am such a skeptical person, I just wanted to make sure, like, is this legal? Is this legit? Like, because sometimes when things are really awesome, they're really too good to be true. So this is legit, yeah?
Absolutely legit. Everything's legal. There's nothing shady going on. But again, as we've spoken, we always recommend that you double check with your CPA or your financial planner because we're all really a team in this.
And that's really comforting too, to know that my CPA and my health advisor are all on board because, I'm going to have to file my tax return at the end of the year, and some of that comes into play with how I apply for the health insurance too, right?
Absolutely. With many of the plans, you're either getting a deduction on your healthcare expenses or you're getting some tax savings based on your tax return.
And then another thing that was such a blessing to me because I was so stressed and so overwhelmed, and technology is not my strong point. I had to set up some online portals and also online automatic payment, or at least that's the way I chose to do it because I think that's more convenient. And
right.
Sometimes I get really frazzled with those online kind of things that need to be done. And Blake was right there to kind of like hold my hand through the whole process and talk me through it. And in some cases, he just did it for me. You gave me a lot of peace in that situation, and I'm so thankful for that guy.
Thank you.
Anyway, I could talk about his praises for a few more days, but I'm going to go on to the next point. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, I need a health insurance advisor, stat! Well, I got you. So you could do one of two things. One, you can ask around your circle of friends like I did and see if they have a resource where they can connect you with a health insurance advisor. Or two, if you want to work with Blake because you already know him and I can vouch for his trustworthiness, then you can reach out to him. And if you're not in the state of Texas, don't worry, Blake has clients all over the country. And if he happens to not work in your particular state, then he will connect you with one of his trusted partners. If you want to talk to Blake or you just have some questions that you want to ask him, I'll put a link in the description below where you can reach him. And I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence, but I know that I have some subscribers who are brand new to YouTube. So in order to find the description box, you look for the word more ... and it'll be just below the video. So just in case this video has gotten too serious, then let me bring up the fun factor and bring up my puppies in here. So the thing is, insurance is really important, as you know. Saving money is really important, as you know. And also protecting your peace of mind is really important too. And I have found that by having a trusted health insurance advisor, I've been able to accomplish all of those things. And that's why I wanted to talk about this and share this with you today, because I feel like if it benefited me, it'll benefit you too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it really benefits your life. If you find that it's not something that you need right at this moment, then I hope that you'll just stick it in your pocket and save that information to share with a friend, or maybe keep it for yourself in case you need this info in the future. Thanks for joining me today and watching this video. I hope you'll click like and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell, because when you do, you'll get notifications when I put up a new how-to or informational video every single week. And if you'd like to leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Now, Aspen and Cooper say goodbye. And now I'm gonna ask Blake if he will join me in closing out this video. So let's face it, when you're trying to decide on what insurance you need to have for your family, it can be really stressful and scary and overwhelming. But with the right health insurance advisor, we can do it. But with the right health insurance advisor, we can do it. You're supposed to say it too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Jeez, I screwed the whole thing up.